Officers at the Kumasi Central Prisons are asking government to expand the contagious disease allowance to cover all prisons in the country. The allowance, which is about 20% of their salary, is limited to personnel of the Communicable Disease Center at the Ankofo Maximum Prisons. ADP Osman Tasambedu explained congestion in all prisons, which increases the transmission of communicable diseases, requires expansion of the allowances. Nana Yaojima has more for us in the following report.
The Communicable Disease Center at the Ankofo Maximum Prisons is set up to treat inmates with communicable diseases like tuberculosis. This is to contain and treat tuberculosis among inmates from various prisons in the country. For the risk, 20% of salary is paid as allowance to officers in the prison. The second in command at the Kumasi Central Prisons, ADP Tasambedu, believes similar risks are present in various prisons in the country.
That institution was meant for contagious diseases, but in this instance, you and I know that most of the inmates are, especially when I was there, I was an OIC there before, most of the inmates are transferred from Kumasi Central Prisons to the contagious disease. It means that those in the war prisons are even more vulnerable. Once we are with them, we go to the cells, we do the counting, we serve them with their food, we come in contact with them, we take them to hospital, we take them to court. So once we take them to court, that interaction is there. And you know TB is an airborne, and we cannot rule the fact that some of our officers are vulnerable as far as this sickness is concerned.
The prison's commander spoke to Joy News on the sidelines of a ceremony to advise and release of 20 inmates whose fines were paid by the Christo Asafo Church. The gesture is to reduce congestion in the prison, which has its capacity now overstretched. Due to poor conditions in the prison, the freed men came out with poor skin conditions. Some of them spoke about conditions in the prison. The church donated food items to complement government's feeding grants for inmates. Richard Brown spoke on behalf of Apostle Kojosafo of the Christo Asafo Church.
Last year, 15 and 20 and next year no enipa bebre.
Meanwhile, a philanthropist, Daniel Pitti, has also paid fines of 4 others in the prison. He explains need for government to improve conditions in the prison.
This is a government bit me expanded or more.
The prison service is calling on the public to help pay fines of some inmates as a means to decongest the prison. For Joy News, Nana Yaojima, Kumasi.